Okay, trying to fix the. Trying to fix the music here. Fix it's like it froze up or keep freezing up. Hold on. Let me just mute the music while I try to work this out. But that definitely having some technical difficulties with the music currently. But definitely hope everybody is doing well today on this Thursday, last day of the NBA before the All Star break. Hope everybody's week has been well. We are, getting ready to walk into Friday tomorrow. There's no games after today. From Friday to Monday, Tuesday, if I remember correctly, there's one game Tuesday, and then on the 18th, excuse me, the 19th. Um, Actually, no, there's one game on Wednesday. That's Charlotte at Lakers. To man, ugh, I'm gonna be pretty much running home to do a live stream to talk about the picks for. Well, no. I should be okay. I'll be able to do my video for Thursday the night before. I usually try to do my videos the night before for the most part. I try. Um, Let me still try to work on. I don't know what's going on with the music. Why I decided to want it to randomly bug, but at the same time, it could just be my laptop. Just because my laptop sucks, it's sort of kind of on its last leg, and I'm trying to save up some funds, some real funds, to be able to get a new one, better one, more powerful one. So, um, but I'll at least say per my video from this morning, per last night's games, I was I'm just under 500 for yesterday's games. I had 15 picks originally for the live stream from yesterday. Excuse me, I just ate a sandwich for. Excuse me, just ate a sandwich for dinner. But yeah, I pretty much could have finished on a positive note. Um, Yesterday, had I not added five, I think it was like 15, seven more picks. So I had 22 picks in total. I 10 out of the 22 hit. So I went 10 and 12 last night per all of my picks. I think we're good now. All right, we're good. Music is fine. So we're good. So yeah, like I said, 10 and 12. My lock picks for yesterday's video went 1 and 1. Like I explained this morning. Um, uh, I had um, shoot. What was my? Give me 1 second. I can find it. Just a second here. So my lock pick was Wemby to hit 2 threes. I walked into that pretty much knowing that there was a high potential chance that they were going to shut Wemby down, and that's what happened. Celtics really did do a really great job shutting Wemby down from the 3 point line. I put him down for it was a plus value. That's the other thing. It was plus value, but it was like a plus. It was plus 105 over on DraftKings, and he finished with 1 3, so 1 for 7 for the night. Porzingis went off for 29 points. I really thought about putting him down for points, and I didn't even do it. And that was that. But congratulations if you took the Celtics spread. I actually ended up taking Boston because I just kind of was feeling like the Spurs could possibly figure something out. I live streamed the game last night here on the channel. I was watching the game on Hulu, at least watching everything, and yeah, it was just like Boston, as soon as they went up early, it was a wrap. Boston just took advantage of everything that was going on the court. So, Castle, you might want to consider putting on a ticket for sure. Moving forward on a few of your tickets this year, at least for scoring, he's been really getting more comfortable in his rookie year, as we are pretty much at the halfway mark of the season. So, but the other pick was Bonchero to score 23 points. It was 22 and a half. I don't know if that line moved up, if it got bumped up one extra point. I'm not sure, but it was 22 and a half when I grabbed it the night before, and he finished with 24, so that cash. So I'm officially above 500 for the month of February, which is, I feel great, and we're in the middle of the month, so I feel really good that I'm at least above 500. I have, if I remember correctly, I think I'm 12 and 10, I think, if I remember correctly. That's for the month of February. But of course, my NBA season record sucks. I'm like, only have like 59 wins out of like 74, something 73, something like that. Can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, I have 2 lock picks for today. Again, talked about it in my video from earlier. Everything else I'm gonna look to pick here is going to be fresh. These are actual live picks for these 5 games moving forward. But I do have 2 lock picks for today's slate. Let's see here. So, okay, so that was earlier. Okay, so let's dive into it. And I actually went a little bit in reverse. Usually I picked like the very first game, but I actually went with the second game, even though they both started at the same time. These games are late, so I won't be doing the live stream at all for any of the games, because I usually try to live stream at least like one of the 7 o'clock games, just because that way it walks into like 9:30ish, and I still have some time if I'm mentally awake, and I can work on a video that's gonna more likely take me 20 plus minutes to do. So yeah, I picked the Rockets game. That's the thing, I actually picked this pick when I didn't know. I just found this out today. It was the Phoenix Suns, when it's pertaining to the opponent's team total points. They are on a record trend right now. I think they're currently 16-1. They were 15-1 when coming off of when walking into a back-to-back game. I think that's what it is, if I remember correctly. And every time the second game hit, the team that they went against went over their team total points. So I had originally taken Houston Rockets team total under, because again, they haven't been hitting the mark lately, but again, until last night, right? So I had taken them today as my first log pick, which I think it bumped up. It bumped up 1. So it's minus 115 over on DraftKings. I did grab this on DraftKings earlier this morning, or should I say last night. But yeah, as you see, they're 50-50 when it's pertaining to going over their team total points, right? Even like the last 5 games, they've gone under this 3 out of the last 5. But again, like I said, last night against Phoenix again, coming off of a back-to-back, the trend did hit where they, Houston was able to, and also too, because Sengun played. That was the other thing, because he was questionable. Because I was like, well, I know he's questionable. Maybe he doesn't play, and maybe this goes under. But if he does play, even after I took the pick, if he does play, then my under for the team total points last night was more than likely at risk of not hitting, and of course that did happen. So today I decided to fade the Rockets today on a back-to-back for the under. Which is 111.5. But again, this number bumped up 1 at a better value. I got it at minus 125 on DraftKings for them to go under 112 points. But this is now saying that they're hopeful that the Rockets will go under their team total points at 113 minus 102 over on FanDuel. Again, this is 50% that they are not reaching the mark, and on top of that, they're 60% hitting this. Again, like I explained, 3 out of the last 5 games they've gone under their team total points. But also too, this is a risky pick because Golden State is allowing 112 points, literally just shy 113. So now my pick is at my first lock pick is at risk of more than likely not hitting tonight. But again, it depends, because even though Sengun played last night, he may not be playing tonight. Green may not be playing tonight. Again, we're walking into, we don't know who's playing and who's really not playing. How long they're going to be playing in these 5 games, because we're walking into the last day before the All-Star weekend. And I kind of feel like a few of the star players may talk to the coaches like, yo, I'm trying to take a break, blah, blah, blah. I'll, take a PTO day, use a PTO and chill out over here, let somebody else go out there and get some shine, go out there and get 15, 20 points that they usually don't average, type of thing. Somebody may hit 30 tonight. Just something to consider with your picks for tonight. You may want to consider taking some of these backups for, say, 15 or 20 points if you're feeling like a safe pick. A safe pick would be 15, sort of kind of long shot 20, definitely long shot 25, definitely even the biggest long shot would be 30. So that's that. And the other pick was the over, which I think this did hit for Dallas's game last night. Again, they're back to back. Let's see. I took this one did not hit for me. I took Dallas's team total for them to go over to score 114 points. They scored 111. So Golden State were able to shut them down on that. But I ended up taking the over for this game. This is the second lock pick, and that is the interesting stuff. It dipped down majorly. There maybe because Kyrie may not be playing, maybe Hero, maybe Adebayo may not be playing, so it dipped down a few points. So I grabbed this on DraftKings last night for this total point to go over 220, basically go over 222, 221 and a half, minus 110. That's right, because originally it was 222 and a half, and DraftKings had the better value, minus 110 for the 221. But as you see here, it dipped down over on Caesars, minus 105, 217, 216 and a half for it to go over. So there's a chance that this may not hit at all. Give me one moment. Let me look at it. Whoa, there we go. Come on, baby. Come on. There we go. Let's see. So, of course, Ant's not playing. Oh, Dante's game time decision. Okay. Bam's game time decision. I don't know if Duncan played last night. I don't think he did. Again, Kyrie's game. So there's a possibility that, again, a lot of the stars may not be playing tonight. But I wasn't thinking that. I'm like, this is a back-to-back. I should have put the under, but I was like, this is back-to-back game. Maybe they'll play and say maybe they'll play the first half and both teams score 60 plus points, and then we'll see what happens moving forward if, say, a lot of the starters play half of the third quarter and then they're just done the rest of the game. So that's what I'm saying. Like this pick, I may go 0-2 tonight. So we'll see. Let's see. So that's the pick. Also, per this pick, the main reason why I picked it is because it's just the way that both, like I keep explaining, when I'm taking these overs, a lot of times I'm looking at what the teams are doing the last 10 games. Yes, of course, the head-to-head matchup. What happened in the head-to-head matchup? The over hit 2 out of the last 3 games against Miami. But also, how are the teams scoring on their own Like Miami away, how many points are they scoring? If my laptop would be kind and move that in that direction. How is Miami scoring on the road? And it's kind of mostly up. They've gone under 100 points one time over the last 5 games. So they're roughly averaging over the last 5 games. They're roughly averaging, I'd say, around, because again, they scored that 124. That 124 has a key major role on whether or not they're hitting like 110. So I'm guessing it's definitely above 110 because they hit that 124 at Chicago back on the 4th of this month. So they're roughly averaging, I want to say, about like 110. And then Dallas at home, as you see, they're definitely pushing that 110 mark 4 out of the last 5 games at home. They only went under once against Boston in a loss at home. So yeah, that's what I was saying. Like this was my mindset of the over could possibly hit for this one. So that's that reason why, one of the main reasons why I picked it. Now we could even look at the public and see what they're doing for the over. As you see too, the public and the money is going towards the over. A low 70% for the money, and then just 77% for all the bets for the public. So that's that spot there. Now let's dive into these live picks that are fresh that I am looking to consider doing. Oh, that's right. I did. I apologize. I did do some extra picks. I did 3 extra picks. No, I'm looking at. Yeah, it was 3 extra picks. I forgot about this. I was on the bus and then I got to work and I think I did one more. So I ended up again, I think the main reason the reason why I did this pick is because against the last day, I could have easily said, you know what, because Sacramento was allowing points being scored on them a lot recently. I could have went with the team total over for the Pelicans. We can even look at that real quickly here. Hold on, I went to the wrong spot. There we are. So let's see what the over is here for the Pelicans. It's 114 minus 105. Let's look at let's see how many points they're averaging. They're actually averaging 119. But the last 10 games are hitting this mark 50% of the time of going over this 114. They're averaging literally 114 on the nose, 113 and 0.6. But again, the last 5 games they're averaging 112 at hitting this mark 40% of the time. They've only hit one over twice. While the Sacramento Kings are allowing 116 points, 115.6. It's minus 105 over on DraftKings. It's just something that you consider possibly taking. But let's look at the injury report real quick. All these cats are out. Like all these, of course, Murray's out for the year. And Herbert Jones out for the season. But Sacramento is fresh. They're no injuries. They're healthy. It's just, as I was thinking was going to happen, I think I talked to one of my coworkers at work about this, is that because Zach LaVine is back, playing with DeMar DeRozan again, that it's more than likely not going to work again. As we're seeing Zach himself, we can even look at his points. Let's do that real quickly. Zach, since being here, I don't think he's even hit 20 points just yet. I think he's only played 3 games now, I think. So last night he actually hit. Okay. Last night at Pelicans, he finally hit. He's actually been doing good. So I was off. I thought I guess it wasn't paying. I just know one time, I think it was this one, I looked at, I only scored 17 points. It was close to 20. So he's been doing good scoring. So let's see. Oh, this This is where I like to grab stuff. Plus 100 from to score 23 points. He's only hit this once, though, over the last 5 games. He's averaging 24 against the Pelicans. But again, he's on a team that the touches are, he's not getting as many touches as he was in Chicago. Let's see what for the position. It's actually a good spot to even take him, because they're allowing 27 points per the shooting guard position. It's just something that we can consider possibly taking, but I don't think I'm gonna take it, but because again, he may not play. The best thing that I can say as far as this stuff, again, I think I've only taken one player prop. Yep, currently. Best thing I can say to do is to literally not really, if you're gonna take a player prop, take a single one. Don't try to parlay stuff. Just look to possibly rely on some teams to do stuff like I've been doing lately, and even today. Team total points, fading teams, relying on maybe possibly teams still going out there and going over their team total points. Maybe possibly taking the over, the under for all 5 games. Because we really don't know what's going to happen tonight. Because again, these are the last few games before the All-Star stuff starts. I think tomorrow. But I did. Long story short, this is what I picked. I picked the Pelicans to win the spread. I got it over on Caesars at plus 7.5. This was minus 110. This is what I grabbed for this pick. Again, the main reason is because head-to-head matchup, the Pelicans aren't getting blown out at all by the number. And when you really look at it, they're winning. They've covered the spread every time. Now, again, these numbers could be different from the actual numbers from prior, because again, the numbers could have moved just before. Like these numbers could be just before tip off, where they probably dipped down or dipped up. They could have started at 6.5 or 2.5 or whatever for a lot of the stuff. Like this one, 4 plus 4.5 on January 7th of last season. Could have been 7.5 and it dipped down to 4. Whatever the case. And they even blew out Sacramento that day on the road. So that's what I'm saying. Pelicans are, for the most part, more recently been, at least staying in a few of these games against teams that technically supposed to blow them out, like a Boston Celtic, supposed to be blown out, and they don't, and they just, they lose by 2 points type of stuff. So that's why I just looked at this and I said, this is a no-brainer. I'm taking the Pelicans to cover the spread tonight, even if they lose. But it just, again, it just depends on who's playing. From the time tip-off happens to the time that in the regulation, even possibly even due to a like a OT, if there's overtime that happens tonight. Oh shoot! I got a lot of odds jam emails here. Looks like it's just bad. It's college. I'm gonna try my best to dive into some of the college games before, because March Madness is next month. I'm gonna try to dive into some stuff and maybe just share a couple of my picks on one of the streams or the videos. But we'll see what happens with that. The other pick that I did, this is pick 2 that I added, was another spread. Golden State at Washington. So this number dipped down humongously, and when I mean it dipped down a good chunk. So I grabbed this on DraftKings minus 110 for the Rockets to cover the spread at minus 6.5. As you see here, it dipped down to minus 1.5. Minus 1.5, 108, minus 108 over on FanDuel. So this tells me that there's a possibility that, because from what I heard, Coach Kerr was saying that, you know, his starters may not be playing tonight, from what I heard. So that, look at this. Eason is out. Jabari Smith's out. Fred VanVleet's out. Kuminga's out. Eason just scored 25 points last night. Well, maybe he got injured late, but he had 25 points. So that was some great plus money right there that I didn't even get a chance to see what it was. Because I was literally thinking about putting him down for, I think it was like 15 or 20 points last night. Excuse me. And I didn't even do it. I forgot. So he would have cashed for me last night. But we'll see. Head-to-head matchup, though. Golden State has covered the spread per Outlier stats. All of these last 6 games against Houston. So we will see. I don't see anything on here before. Yeah, I don't see anything on here like around. Nope. This one's the closest. This one's March 4th. I mean not March. Excuse me. April 4th. So this was a month after the All-Star break. So, or just maybe 3 weeks after the All-Star break last season. So there's nothing around the time or just before. Excuse me. The All-Star break from last season. I was even going to look to see if there's anything on here. But again, this is after, and even then, Golden State blew out or just won by 23 points on the road. So last time at Houston was a low scoring. Well, technically it was back to back. One in Golden State and one at Houston. But the last time at Houston, it even looks like it's this season. The score was super low, 90, 91-90. Let me look at this real quick. Give me a brief moment. Let me go all the way back. What's that? January 11th? I mean, not January. December 11th. Oh, okay. So that was the NBA Cup night. This was technically a really good game. Fred VanVleet, Sengun, D-Book, Curry, Draymond, Kuminga. Gary Payton was in the start lineup that night. Well, no, he wasn't. Buddy Hield was balling a little bit. So Curry had 19, Hill had 15, Kuminga had 20. Draymond missed a triple single. He did okay. Jabari Smith had 15. Sengun had a double-double, 26 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists though. And Fred VanVleet, he sucked on the points, but he had 7 assists. He only scored 8 points. And Jalen Green sucked. He only had 12. So, and Ahmed Thompson, he had 29 minutes, but he had 10.6 rebounds and 3 assists. So, I personally, I'm just like, you know, minus 6.5, maybe, maybe. Again, this is 1.5 though, but maybe Houston, whatever happens, maybe it could still win by 7 points tonight. Maybe they'll score 10 plus points, or win the game by 10 plus points. I don't know. We'll see. But that's that pick. Next up, this is the only player prop that I took. It's probably more than likely going to be the only player prop that I have. I'm going back to Kel'el Ware, and I'm going with his rebounds. It dipped up 1. I got it over on FanDuel at minus 120 for him to grab 9 rebounds tonight. It, as you see, it dipped up to for him to get 10 now, 9.5, minus 110 on DraftKings. He's hit his mark 60% at the time over the last 10 games, 60% the last 5. 3 out of the last 5 he's grabbed 9 or more, technically 10 or more. But the last 2 games he struggled to grab rebounds, even though his chances are 14. So per the position though, center position, they're actually allowing 13 rebounds. So let's look at this. Let's see. looks like he's playing, while Embiid is possibly not. Duncan's possibly not. I forgot I even looked at the what you call it. So there's a chance that Ware could go out here and grab, say, 12 rebounds, 14 rebounds tonight. If he plays the full game, maybe he grabs these 9 rebounds that I need in the first half, and then gets benched. You know, if Coach Spoelstra decides to have him play at least the first 2.5 quarters or something like that. Again, maybe this will occur because Dallas doesn't really have, as we see, Lively's not going to be there, Powell's not going to be there, PJ's not going to, nobody's going to be there. So I feel like this is the best spot for my prop, more than likely my one and only player prop to possibly cash. Now I'm feeling kind of upset that I didn't take this on the lock pick, but it's okay. But that's pretty much the pick for that one. But we'll see what happens. So next up, my Thunder Boys. We're just on a heater. We are winning games. We're 9-2 over the last 11 games. We were down against Miami, but I didn't really worry. I saw the half. I didn't watch it, but I was paying attention to the score and paying attention to what the players were doing for both teams. And I was like, well, it's the first half. We're kind of getting a feel of the team on the defensive side. We'll see what happens. I was still feeling more confident that we were going to go out here and win the game last night at home against Miami, and we decided to start balling towards the end of the game, and that's what happened. We came out with the win. Shea had 31 points, if I remember correctly, last night. I think I had taken Wiggins for, was it points? But I think he did not cash for me. If I can't remember off the top of my head. Let me double check. Let me see. Let me go back to today. Because like I said, I don't think he cashed for me last night. I could be wrong. Man, I just want to say that it's beautiful when we have 15 games. Me personally, I know a few other cappers, they don't like when there's so many games because they feel like it's too much. I'm like sitting back like, dude, when there's like 5 games, like it is to me, it's still easy to find something, but 5 games suck to me. I need a plethora again because I'm a basketball head. I love just knowing that there's so many games. There's just a plethora of options for you to choose from. Like, okay, there's a break here, let me go watch over here, let me go see, even the worst of teams. I'm like, yo, I want to see what players are going to go out here and possibly score 15 points that never usually do, type of thing. Where are we? There we go. Okay, so I was off one. Shea had 32 points. Yeah, Wiggins had 11. I think I had him down for 13 or something like that, and it didn't. Like I said, it didn't cash, or maybe it was his threes. I can't remember. It was something I picked for Wiggins. I could have sworn. But let's see. What are we thinking? Let's look at the injury report. Are they gonna have my team or their team out there tonight? Look at this. Game time decisions. Yeah, Edwards may not play. May play. Might play. Look at us. Look at my Thunder. Key players like Caruso, he's not. That's about it. So there's still a possibility that my Thunder Boys could play 2.5 quarters and then be done. We'll see. What do I want to do? This one just popped in my head, and I think I might run with it. Again, we struggled in the first half last night at home. Let me see, over under. I'm not gonna look to do an over under here, but I'm more than likely it's gonna be over on FanDuel. More than likely, something that's not capable of being picked or looked at on FanDuel. I would have to pour more. I just might do that. Yeah, we'll do that. FanDuel, first half, spread, 5.5, -104. FanDuel, I'm locking it in right here. For my Thunder to win the first half. Spread. I'm all in. I'm all in. Locked it in. So I went with that. We took that. That's the pick. Again, like I said, I'm really not going to be pushing for player props here for referral. I'm just going to just grab, like I said, it's either going to be a spread, team total over under type of thing, or over or under. All right, last game up, last pick for the video, last pick, more than likely last pick for the night, unless I decide to parlay something as far as like a spread or something. Clippers at Utah. Let's see. I'm so glad. Excuse me. I just keep burping because of that sandwich. I'm so glad. Excuse me. Maybe it's because I just haven't been feeling. Trust me, guys. I missing me not looking at. I telling you, I have not been feeling well. Technically, like the last couple of months, and definitely more so the last month, because I was sick like 3 weeks ago for like literally like 2 weeks, and I'm just now finally feeling better, but still kind of dealing with a little bit of a runny nose every day. Like I still have a runny nose every day, but it's not as bad as it was roughly a week and a half ago. But I felt really good about the Jazz on the spread against the Lakers. Really upset that I did not take them to win the margin. That's what I'm saying, guys. We're going to be looking to push. I'm going to be looking to dive into some research on these games to where I definitely gut feeling and just personal info on these margins, because the margins were a little bit of a niche for me last season, especially the quarter margins. That's where I was seeing that. Like when I tell you, I personally, this is a personal story. Hopefully those of you who are still watching this video and or stream later, you stick around for this story. I missed out on literally cashing out on over $3,000 because I had a parlay pick of a first quarter margin last season. It was like a month or two. Well, it was after the All-Star break. I remember correctly. I had for sure the Pelicans were playing that day. And that was the game that it was the Pelicans. They were at home. I remember because they were playing the Charlotte Hornets. I had Boston playing. It was 3 games. All 3 teams, the home teams, for them on FanDuel. When you click on first quarter for FanDuel and you scroll down till you see, kind of walk you through this real quick. I'm on the game, at least this Minnesota game. So if you click on first quarter, You see first quarter here, and then you scroll down until you see first quarter margin, not first quarter margin exact, but first quarter margin. When you click on that, it shows like basically for this game, for the Thunder, for my Thunder against Minnesota, for them to win by one, to win the quarter by 1 to 2 points, 3 to 4 points, 5 to 6, and then you hit show all, and then it'll basically say the same list for the other team. I picked all the home teams, 3 games. I parlayed it on FanDuel. Boston was one of them. It was another team I can't remember, but specifically the Pelicans playing at home against Charlotte Hornets. Again, this is when Pelicans had, their team was indeed healthy, right? And not lying when I tell you this. Boston covered the other team. Like I said, top of my head, I can't remember the other team. The first 2 games, because the Pelicans game was the one that started like a half hour later. I was waiting for that game to start. Boston and the other home team covered. I was just waiting. The payout was 12 grand, a little over. And all I did was put $1 down on this pick. That's the key thing to know. I put $1 down on that pick. In the last season, three games, Boston and the other team covered. Waiting for the Pelicans game started. Guess what happened? Pelicans went up by 10 points. And by the time it hit like 7 minutes, there was a timeout, but the timeout lasted forever, like longer than 5 minutes. But there was a cash out. The cash out was over 3 grand. I was sitting here, my mindset, my thinking, my thought process was, and again, I still regret to this day that specific spot, and is that, oh snap, this pick is probably getting ready to hit. Waiting and waiting and waiting. The 7-8 minutes felt like forever because time stood still for me while I was watching this whole thing transpire in front of my eyes. But then once they finally decided to continue, Charlotte started to score. That cash out for 3 grand dipped down to 1,500. Again, anybody else would have cashed out for that 3 grand. Anybody else would have cashed out for that 1,500. It dipped up because Pelicans started scoring again. It dipped up to over 2 grand. And I did not cash out until the number dipped under 1,000. The cash out. How upset am I to walk away with, I think it was like $600 that day. Which, mind you, that $600 is all gone. So that's the story. Short of the story, something that I learned. Again, this was still me like early into my betting realm. So actually no, what am I saying? This wasn't last season. Yeah, it was last season. Because the season prior is when I was winning big. It was for the playoffs. So yeah, so I'm literally almost 2 years into me betting now. But yeah, that's the story. Anybody else would have cashed out on that 3 grand, and anybody else would at least walked away between 3 grand and $1,500. Anybody else off of $1. That again, I was hopeful that it would have, because the whole pick was basically for all 3 teams to win by 13 plus points. That was the main reason why it was like that. And I froze up. So that's that. Now, last pick of the day. As I'm done rambling about me missing out on 3 grand that I possibly could still have at least a little bit of that money in my pocket. Kind of need it up to this point now in my life because I'm pretty much broke as a joke, like Craig said on Friday, the movie. Okay, so let's see. Clippers are averaging 111 points while Jazz are averaging 119. The over for them to score is 110, 109 and a half. I probably could have grabbed this at 108 or 107 last night, maybe, possibly. But look at how beautiful this is, right? Jazz have been balling, son. Averaging 116 the last 10 games, averaging 122 the last 5. But the Clippers are allowing only 108 points the last several games. Minus 105 over on DraftKings. Let me do this real quick. Oh, look at that. 1 second. Excuse me. Oh, look at 150 cents. I'm on FanDuel trying to get this thing done real quick. Okay. All right. So I think I'm gonna probably more than likely take this 109 and a half. Just be the final pick. This is well enough. We're literally just shy of an hour of streaming here. DraftKings. I gotta log back into DraftKings. Let me look at the injury report real quick. Let me see. Because we're about to end the stream in like 30, 45 seconds. Let's look at this real quick. Kawhi's not playing. Oh, Coffee's game time. Jordan's out. Sexton's out. Yo, I just want to reiterate. Y'all need to continue to push Collier. Because Collier's been out there just dishing them dimes, son. Man, Collier has been doing his thing, helping the team win, or at least staying in these games or whatever with his passing. He had 9 assists last night. I looked at that 8.5. I did not grab it. I'm mad. I literally took his assist the last game, and all I had to do was take those wins and just put it on last night. It would have cashed. It was automatic. It was 8.5, guys. I missed out. I'm still mad I didn't take his assist. Literally, the last 5 games alone, he's had 10 or more assists 3 times. Technically 6 when you really look at it. Last 6 games, he's hit 10 or more assists. He missed by 1 assist last night in 2 games prior. So, and funny enough, that game that he covered his assist at 9. I mean, I think it was at 8.5 that night. He got it at 9. So I'm not gonna take the player prop. I don't think I'm gonna look to do the team total over here. 109.5. If it's still the same, this is it. It is. So we're doing it. Minus 110. Oops. Locked it in. And that's that. These are the picks. Let's hope for the best. I think I have 10 picks in total, or 8 or 7 or something, because again I started with 2 and then I picked 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess it's 7 in total. So those are the picks. Yeah, let's hope for the best for these last 5 games. Let's hope that the players, even the backups, they get to go out there and shine before everybody gets some resting time for the most part, except for those players who are going to be playing in the All-Star game this weekend. But other than that, I might do some live streams or videos for some college basketball, just to kind of keep things flowing. I haven't really been following college basketball too much, like at all. But I will gladly just do some outlier looks here, just to see if anything stands out. I can't do any player prop or anything, but I can gladly do some spreads, some overs and unders and stuff, team total points and stuff. So I'll gladly look into that stuff. I'll dive in that way. We could still have the channel, flowing with some stuff. So we'll see with everything. Again, I just wish I was just following the sport from the kids' perspective, from the young bucks trying to get into the league, following them. But at the same time, my Kentucky Wildcats won against Tennessee, number 5. We did the upset 2 days ago, so I'll take, or 3 days, something like that. I'll take that win for us. But other than that, I'm out. Stay safe, stay humble, guys. Enjoy your weekend. All-Star break, all of that. And if I don't do a live stream or college picks, then it is what it is, and we'll just chat next. I can maybe do a couple of picks for the Wednesday game, the Hornets and Lakers game. Probably do a video for that. But other than that, I'll majorly talk to you all next Thursday, hopefully. But stay safe, stay humble. Holla at you later, guys.